Hello and welcome to Generation Hero, the epic superhero saga that takes you through the entirety of comic book history, one issue at a time. Oh, you know it. This is the third episode of our 1990 To the Extreme arc entitled Hero Palooza, in which our heroes are headed to a superhero music festival, and we'll see what strange things occur amongst the rockin' sounds. First, before I do a quick recap, let's meet our four heroes, members of the Society of the Bizarre, who handle the weird, the strange, the just plain odd for Society of Sentinels, the big superhero team in this universe. So we'll start with Marvin. Let me know who your hero is and what's going on with them as they enter this chapter of the adventure.
So, what's up? I'm playing the Beacon, Mr. Mystical, a smoke man, or mist man, if you want. He has the powers of phasing, turning himself into smoke, and he's also the team's stealth expert. Right now, he's kinda down because he's not allowed to keep his dang battle buddy.
Oh no, the Battle Beast? Or what?
The Battle Beast.
What happened to the Battle Beast? To Effie, I believe his name was.
Evie,
yeah.
Evie the avocado. Mm-hmm. Well, it's Spider standard policy not to keep any Battle Beasts on any Spider operational person.
Oh no.
They are banned. Quite thoroughly.
Banned Battle Beasts. Very sad. Alright, well, after that we have Kat.
Hi, I'm Kat. I am playing Devotion, one of the limitless 7 beings who control reality in their own opinion. The limitless are delineation, digestion, demise, drowse, devotion, degradation, and Desmond, who used to be drudgery, but he rebranded. I am a legacy. In the last game I revealed that Devotion has not actually been Devotion for a terribly long time, but
these are mantles that are passed down.
These are mantles that are passed along, and Devotion has the highest turnover because it is a very stressful job. The only one that has not rolled over ever that they know of is Delineation. Delineation has always been Delineation.
Also joining us from out of this world is Dallas.
Hey, I am playing Flux. Sorry, I almost read that wrong, but I forgot very many X's at the end of that.
A lot of X's.
The outsider class, yes. I look pretty much human, but I have a way different skin color. But other than that, I really pretty much look human. But I come from a different place, never heard of it. Hopefully I'll find that place one day again when I'm welcome back home as a true champion. We'll see.
An alien hero. And then we have Nick.
Yep, I am Nick. It's hard to really start, but anyways, I am once again playing the Emerald Drake, our transformed quote unquote old person in this group. I guess you could say.
Yeah, you might say that. Kind of the voice of aged wisdom.
Yeah.
For what that's worth.
Yep. Ran around in the 80s when heroing wasn't legal, and now runs this group of bizarre people.
Yeah, he's pretty much the point man, leader, I would say, of this of the Society of the Bizarre's field team.
Yep.
So, Society of Bizarre has been investigating some strange stuff. All of it tied to robberies of Nizova, this ruined town in Eastern Europe, with all sorts of cursed artifacts. But someone's been stealing them, and worse than that, they've been giving them to villains, whether that's an upstart vampire, the Gothpire in our first episode, or Intercalations Incorporated, which led to the creation of the Battle Beasts in our episode that we just had last week. So someone is arranging things, setting stuff up that could lead to super disasters. And now, you guys are all into the basement of the Sentinel HQ when you are called in for a meeting with Sarah, for your next assignment. Seraph being the strange green glowing being that controls Society of the Bazaar. But first, are there any? I know, Kat, your character had a kind of a level up and got something new. Do you want to talk about that a little bit?
My character now has a sanctuary.
Ooh.
Where they can go to, like, relax from being themselves for a while. Or they can be the person that they were before for a little bit.
You mean like a dark cave or
Yeah, what is
somewhere
that?
in the
What
frost?
does that sanctuary look like for devotion?
It is actually incredibly high tech.
Whoa.
Yeah, but I don't think I've taken anybody there yet.
Ooh, okay.
So wait, we can be the person we were before?
Well, I mean, she hasn't told any of you that.
Ooh.
Okay.
Interesting. All right. So
But she
you,
might take Emerald Drake there.
okay. Well, you can decide if you want to reveal some details. You can always pop in during the adventure. So you're all called in to meet the Sarah. This time, again, each time you meet her, her features seem to grow a little bit more distinct. You can definitely see a young, sort of teenage female aspect of this glowing green emanating from the pillar there. So Sarah brings you in and is like, "Hello, guys. I do hope you like music, because that's where I'm setting you next."
I mean, who doesn't like music?
Everybody likes music.
Exactly.
Even
I
those
wasn't a
that
fan
say
for a
they
while.
don't like music like
It's-
it secretly.
Do you
It's
not
true.
remember the tour of the Wild Dragons that I was a part of?
Oh yes, I have several of their albums. Big Wild Dragons fan, or a draghead as we call ourselves, as I'm sure you know. It is a little bit heavy for my taste. I prefer Carpenter's, a little gentler. And this new concert has all sorts of genres covered. It's called Hero Palooza. There is one similarity between all the bands. A lot of them have secret identities and costumes. So there's going to be a large percentage of superhero musicians at this event. A lot of fans too, and I gotta tell you, it's a big target for some sort of super villainy. If something went wrong there, a lot of innocent people could get hurt. So I want you there, keeping a low profile as security. And there's something else too. I want you to find. His name is Mr. Star. He's a sort of guru, author. I mean, he's recorded a few albums as well. He kind of guest appears with other musicians. He's sort of a new age, countercultural thinker, but in a new mode from the ones who were around when I was growing up. And he's really offering a kind of postmodern, deconstructionist look at reality and the world. It's very confusing, but Mr. Starr seems like a smart person. I would like it if you could introduce yourselves, get to meet him, feel him out a little bit. So
do you have a file or a picture on him? What does he look like?
I haven't been able to find too much about him, but I think you'll know him when you see him.
I can do some research into what he looks like.
Oh, sure. I mean, he must have appeared in some newspapers and so on. He's got a cult following, I would say. Lots of people like the wisdom that Mr. Starr is espousing.
When did he first show up?
Oh, maybe a couple years ago.
But he's...
I disappear into the shadows.
Oh! Well, I guess Devotion's off to work.
Wait, she disappeared again?
She does that.
Son of a...
Oh, and one more thing.
She'll show up.
I want you to try and keep a low profile there. Now, there's trouble. I want the Society of the Bazaar's hand to be a little hidden. Because some of these heroes, musical or otherwise, I don't know how much I can trust them.
Right.
So try and keep a low profile unless you have to.
Well,
Remember,
there-
keeping the concert goers safe is your main
you
priority.
never know who's around.
It's true.
There might be some old fans of mine.
Ooh, there might be.
And you never know who's blending into the crowd. We gotta scope them all out.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone is suspect.
Whoa.
Even me.
Whoa!
Really, dude?
I reappear with
It's-
a picture of Mr. Star.
All right.
Sorry,
From his high
it's
school
how we're
yearbook.
trained.
Here you go. This is what he looks like. Pass it around.
Mr. Starr is a young man wearing like a robe, or youngish. I mean, he looks like his age is hard to discern. One of those guys could be anywhere from like early 20s to his 40s or even 50s. He has sort of long blonde hair and like kind of a headband instead of holding it up. And he's just wearing like a rumpled, blazer. Actually rocking the blazer t-shirt combo that the Dallas is doing such a good job of wearing right now.
It's fun and comfy.
Yep. big fan of that look. So, and the sleeves are a little bit long, but his hands are kind of hidden away.
Why is he holding his hands?
Yeah, maybe like one's in the coat,
Almost
one's in the
tiny
pocket.
his hands.
Hands not revealed. In all the pictures you're looking at, you can't quite see the guy's hands.
Mr. Star.
Okay, so how are you entering Hero Palooza? Are you dressing up at all? Just walking right in? What's your plan here? It does take place like an hour or two to get ready. It kind of starts in the early afternoon that very day. It's in this big field right outside of Sentinel City.
I would like to use my radical shape-shifting to make myself even more like a human star that would appear at this place, like another, some star musician.
Sure.
And just for the tag-along flavor of it all, I still have my shroom.
Oh,
Just
yeah.
a tag.
Yes, there's a sign like battle beasts allowed, no battling though.
No, I was gonna shapeshift him to like a groupie or something like that. To follow.
Oh, you're gonna transform him. Okay,
That way
cool.
we get in sort of more of incognito.
Sure. Let's see. Do you need to roll for that one?
It's an ability, so.
Ooh. Oh yeah, you're right. Okay. Cool. So that's how. So you're just going in looking like a. Not even a concert goer. You're like performing. What sort of musical act do you think Flux would be into? Maybe like new metal.
New metal. For what's the 90s, I guess it would. Ska would be a good one, or something like that, or
Ooh.
punk ska, something like
Maybe
that.
like some no wave, like Sonic Youth.
There you go.
That makes sense. All right. How about the rest of you?
I am watching from the shadows.
Okay, so you're just kind of keeping to the shadows.
I'm gonna scope the place out.
All right. You just kind of float in. So
That's
really, only
straight up
you were
creeping.
headed right into the crowd.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
you're gonna actually roll for. Okay.
Straight up creeping.
Okay, I'm gonna say there's one main big concert stage. Is how it's set up. And there's lots of like tents, some smaller stages.
Yeah.
There's a big like food tent where people are eating funnel cakes and so on, and various other. They got a water tent, first aid tent, sort of set up in this big field area.
I got an 8, so I can ask one.
Yeah. Let me. What is the question you get from that ability?
Who or what here is not what they see?
Ooh. Okay. Actually, there's a lot here that isn't quite what they seem. I will say, as you actually walk in, you notice someone who you saw once before, and his presence here isn't that odd. It does seem almost a little overexcited. It is AJ McCall of Real Heroes and his camera crew who are getting setting something up.
Oh no, not
And he's
those
looking,
guys.
yeah, he's looking very excited. He does not notice you as you're just being missed. What about Emerald Drake? I mean, you're a big dragon man. I don't know if you're getting bothered. You can bother hiding.
Nah, I can't. I figured with my touring days, while they are over, I get the feeling that even if I was trying to be incognito, it wouldn't last.
Yeah, I would say that. So you're just going as Wild Dragons. What instrument did you play in Wild Dragons?
I believe I was.
I think you were guitar.
Yeah, it was rhythm.
It makes
guitar.
sense.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because that was bass.
Yeah. Yeah. I believe I was rhythm guitar, and
So you're coming out in the full like kind of 80s hair metal look.
well, as much as I had.
Yeah, I'm imagining some reflective like metallic pants. Probably rocked out, bare chested.
Oh yeah. I mean,
So-
it's kind of hard to wear a shirt with wings.
Fair point. I'm always saying that.
What? You can't make some holes in the back of it?
It's
You go through a lot of shirts that way.
Yeah. I gave up after a while.
So you come out right now at the main concert. Looks like the first act is about to go on. It is DJ Jumpy J, the Frogman, and he's actually teaming up with the radioactive Rodin Ronin for Rodin Rap.
You know Mazursky's on it.
They got their act together.
Yeah, he joined in, and the Triple R are kind of backing him up with the instruments there, and DJ Jazzy J hops out, and he's about to do his say that his name is DJ Jazzy J, and he's here to say.
Still doing that tired.
Yep.
Hey,
Oh, yeah.
songs starts with that same phrase. Absolutely every song.
Mazursky has become a huge fan of Cypress Hill, and like literally all of her raps are about weed now.
Oh man, that does make sense. Does she have a cool like weed-based like rat band name? I don't know what it would be.
She's M. Edic.
Ooh.
Medic.
Yeah, that makes sense. So they're warming up, but then suddenly, from the other, you hear some angry shouts and cries on the other side of the stage as another band takes over, interrupting DJ Jumpy J. A individual who a lot of you are familiar with, Mr. Agent Emerald, another Emerald, once Agent Orange.
What is he doing here?
Yep. Now he's wearing like him and his three bandmates are all wearing sort of camo outfits, and they're also in like berets, and they're also in kind of like a rap rock group.
What happened to his old band?
Hmm?
What happened to his old band?
Oh, he's changed. He's gotten real angry now. They're very angry.
Oof.
And he's like, "Whoa, what is this? This is scheduled for our angry band. We're gonna smash the system and stick it to the man. It's time for Potemkin's promise." And joining him, there is also a young African-American woman who has a device that is familiar to a lot of you for its resonance in superhero history, the sonic gun of Cloud Singer. And she's like, "Yeah, it's me, Cloud Screamer.
Oh, no.
And I'm gonna set the mic on fire with some revolutionary spirit." Brother Scales, that lizard who was once in Lizard Liberation League, then was imprisoned. Now he's out and also in this band. Comes in as well, and he's like, "We're bringing the revolution Paleolithic style. Get this amphibian punk off the stage." So the radioactive Ronin don't like this because, I mean, DJ Jumpy J might be kind of silly, but he is their friend. So they start brandishing their weapons too. And you can definitely tell a battle is about to break out on the stage
Oh, no.
because of this scheduling conflict.
Oh, jeez.
Some
So-
wood's about to be chucked.
Absolutely. You can see Amadeus is just like, "This is DJ Jumpy J's time to spit mad rhymes. Wait your turn." Cloud Screamer is already getting ready to Cloud Screamer is getting ready to shoot a sonic blast right at him. So what do you guys do before this battle of the bands erupts on stage?
I am going to appear in the middle of them.
What?
Oh, jeez.
Okay.
Wait! There's no reason for you to engage in a literal battle of the bands. I want you to think back about the gospel of Aerosmith and Run DMC. Although this may have been a clerical mistake, your two groups together can dominate the stage and prove that heroes can rock together.
Ooh, alright, let's see. Let's roll for that.
Yeah.
Are you using your symbol or are you rolling provoke?
I'm doing my symbol, and thank goodness I am, because that is a 7.
Okay, so you have to pick one.
Yes, they do what I say.
Alright. So they're like, Agent Emerald's like, perhaps the hooded lady has got a point. Maybe this isn't the place for an all-out brawl. We can play some music together. And they all sort of start a little bit working to it, but they might take a little bit more before their two musical styles, the happy hip-hop of DJ Jumpy J and the angry rap rock of Potemkin Promise can truly jive.
Mazursky,
Or
you
jive.
believe in hacking the system, and they believe in smashing the system. You all are very opposed to the system.
Muskursky says, "Well, I suppose you're right. We are all anti the system."
And you have dank nugs.
That is true. You're all welcome to join me in smoking up right now if you want.
Oh, they want a smoke show.
Yeah, Kat, why don't you roll provoke on Muskursky? Generation Hero does not condone drug use. Heroes don't
that's
use
an
drugs. Okay,
Because that's what's superior, right?
that is correct.
Yeah, 8.
Alright, I'm gonna say you gain a critical opportunity. So if one of your bandmates can give you one more thing, this crisis will be averted and they will be able to jam together.
Can I hack his brain literally by telepathy?
I think an Agent Emerald or DJ Jumpy J.
No, he seems like he's. They've been rocking. I want to see if I can sort of hack Emerald's brain to see if he'll really get into it, actually jam with the beats of Jumpy J and the.
Yeah, and the triple R.
Yeah.
Alright, why don't you roll and see if unleash your powers for this one.
So 6.
Uh-oh.
Dark potential.
Yeah.
All
Plus
right.
3, So that's
Yep.
You try to change Agent Emerald's mind, and he starts rocking out. But the problem is, he starts rocking out into an aggressive DJ Jumpy J diss track.
Oh no!
No.
I know, calling him like, stupid green amphibian crawled out of the mud.
Oh dear.
Like those Budweiser frogs saying what's up about suds.
Oh dear.
And DJ Jumpy J, his mouth is opening wide. What are you guys gonna do too? Yeah.
I've already done like a lot, so
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
gonna shut up.
It might take one more something from maybe either of you guys.
I have no idea.
All we have is a taser.
Jeez.
Are you
I
guys
don't
more
think-
like you start fights, you don't stop conflict?
Well, it's one of those. I'm not really sure.
I can try taser. I can try and comfort and support him. Yeah.
All right, why don't you try and comfort and
Agent
support?
Emerald.
You could do you can do Agent Emerald. You can like float up behind him,
Yeah. it's
offer
like,
him a good word.
Hey, dude. We're all heroes here, so don't work against your fellow superhero. Work against the man.
Ooh, all right, he likes that.
Oh, that's what I was trying to say.
How do you do
Apparently, the wires got crossed somewhere.
Mazursky pops on her ball and goes, "Man, I hate the man."
8. I got 8.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. That is gonna do it. He stops this diss track, and he's like, "Maybe you're right. This weird mist, this weird cloud just appeared behind me, which might be emanating from the dank nugs that Muskursky brought."
I am all
Yeah.
part of your drug-based hallucination.
Anyway, my drug. I totally forgot Agent Emerald's Irish accent. Perhaps me drug-based hallucination is right. Look, it's a new era. Let's put aside our differences and rock out together. And with that, a strange one-concert fusion band, DJ Jumpy J, and Potemkin's Promise, featuring the radioactive Rodent Ronin, is born for their new hot song, Hack/Smash the System. And the fans are loving it.
Yeah, hack and
and
slash.
slash.
this-
Hack and slash the system, yeah. The only person who's not into it, who you kind of notice, and I think you do too because you're going to be further back in the crowd, is AJ. Him and his camera crew, he's looking really disappointed.
Oh.
He's
what's
like,
in my tip?
you just appear next to him there?
Oh no! I just you said I noticed him though, right?
Yeah, both you guys do.
So yeah, I kind of pout. I get my shrewd groupie to pout even more at him. Oh.
And he's like, "Oh, nothing wrong. You know, it's all good in this hood. It's just, well, let's just say I was looking forward to a better show than what's going on right now."
Sometimes the shows are about the music, not the fights.
Yeah.
I I didn't say anything about fights.
If we know anything about you and why you would be here.
Okay, well, look, Dragon Man. Don't try and put me in a box, okay? Labels
Fits
are
very well in this box.
Yeah, well, I'm outside the box. That's what I like to do. Labels are not my thing, man. In fact, I'm moving on to a new kind of journalism. Pack up our stuff. We're gonna go interview Mr. Star. Watch him drop some wisdom before the camera.
Very well. Have fun with your wisdom.
We'll go over there and find him.
Did you say Mr. Star?
Yeah.
Which way was he? Did you say?
Ooh, why don't you give me a provoke on him?
Yeah,
That's
tell me
really good.
Everything.
Yeah. Yeah, he's
Tell
like,
me everything.
well, all right. Just because you got that hot little groupie with you, I'll let you know. He's over there at that big tent at the edge of the concert there, and he points over to it. I'm gonna start packing up the gear, and then we'll go interview him. So he'll be there in a while.
I say we take opportunity to go over there first if we can.
Check it out.
All right. So you guys are going to see Mr. Star. You bringing Devotion and Mr. Mystical with you?
Yeah, I was on the little telepathy, little mental note. Hey, I found out where Star is.
Oh, alright, so we're gonna meet the guru.
Where is he?
Well, you guys know where it is. They figured it out.
Excellent.
So, has Mr. Mystical been inhaling?
I think I inhaled some weird smoke.
Kind of hard to tell.
I feel
Yeah,
like
I mean, he is
that
like.
smoke mixed with his.
Can smoke is the question.
I don't feel so... Well, I feel kinda good. It's just, I don't know how to turn back. I'm just a cloud of smoke right now.
All right, so this cloud of smoke is just following along. It's floating along. It's very, I'm trying to think of like something with... I was thinking of like that cartoon Chowder where the boy is like a pet fart. So like I think of like, but that's not what you are at all. No, I would not call you that.
Rather than passing through the crowd, I just blink through the shadows, and then I'm in the tent.
Okay.
I'm just gonna pass through the cloud.
So,
the crowd.
Yep, you just float your way through, getting some cheers and so on. So you reach the tent. I'm going to say Devotion gets there first. Mr. Mystical and the rest of you guys show up just a few seconds later.
Mm-hmm.
It's sort of set up like a old-fashioned fortune teller's tent. Lots of spangly, shimmery blue on the cloth there. Inside, amongst the various cushions, is Mr. Star, looking a lot like he was in his pictures. He gives you a wave as he
What do his hands look like?
welcomes you. Yeah, they're like clawed. Some of you might recognize this character by an old name he went by.
Clawed hands.
Yeah.
Like a or...
Yeah, more like the
Clawed.
second one, yeah.
Okay.
So he's beckoning you guys all. And he says, "Oh, Society of the Bazaar. Come on in. Sit down. I've been expecting you."
I can't really sit right now, man.
All right. Well, you can float around if you want.
Yeah. I'm going up to the ceiling.
It's cool. You got it. Oh, you can go up there. I mean, it makes conversational difficult.
He's
Give me
going very high.
Yeah, that's accurate to say.
Drake,
Gives me a
would you-
crick in the neck, but
would you know him from your previous days?
Well, he thinks about it. I don't know if me and this dragon ever went together. If we ever exactly met. We played the same game. I'd say we all do, the hero game. Or, be more accurate to say, we're being played in this game.
Yeah, somebody purposely scheduled two bands to go on at the same time and fight each other.
Exactly. See, that's what a lot of life is for us. We're just forced into situations, fighting for amusement. And I gotta tell you, if you guys could really see what I've seen, you'd realize that it's not just people here who are doing that. What if I told you that you're all characters in a game? People somewhere just sitting at a table playing you, and someone else just making up all these crazy plots, forcing you through them.
I would have figured it would be more of like a book sort of situation than a game.
Yeah, it's possible. I mean, it's hard to say, but
I mean, week after week, we fight different things. I mean,
exactly.
That's
I'm here to tell you, I was awake for the entire trip here. I don't believe I'm in a board game at any time.
Well, you wouldn't know. I mean, if you were a character in some kind of game, like, you would never really realize it. But there's some other intelligence out there, setting things up, arranging things. Maybe he's even creating the words that I'm saying right now. You never really know, would we?
it's true.
But I guess that's just sort of the situation that we're stuck in.
Yes, I'm aware of the principles of solipsism. Well, what's happening? Why, certainly not here to talk about the fact that I might be being played by an incredibly charming individual.
It's possible. But whatever it is, I mean, maybe it's this narrator, this master of the game or something. I don't know. Or it's just fate. I'm going to tell you this. He's setting up, or it is setting up some very dangerous things right now. I'm talking about a trio of apocalypses that are going to hit Earth simultaneously. Probably as soon as that millennium rolls around in a little bit. That's right. It's the end of the world.
Again?
3 times over. Yeah,
Yes, the
That's just-
eschaton. I'm aware of it.
exactly. But it's coming from 3 sources. It's going to be something bad from below. Something to do with you.
Dragons.
I'm sure
Yeah.
we already know about them.
Something from above.
Aliens.
Something to do with you. And then something from beyond, which has to do sort of with you, but sort of with the past of all heroes.
So it's all you guys' fault.
Yeah, well, you're gonna be
It
mixed
only
up.
has slightly to do with me.
Yeah, but you're all the parts of playing it. Perhaps literally.
I will tell you that the Limitless are very concerned about this upcoming apocalyptic scenario.
Yeah, I am. You're talking about well, why don't you go ahead and say it?
Well, we believe that Paragon is going to be a part of this again.
I would think so.
And we are concerned about the fact that delineation seems to be going senile, which means that their time is nearly up.
That is a problem, so the mantle's going to be passed on to someone new.
Well, the mantle was already passed. Delineation lives backwards.
Oh, okay.
So we are a bit concerned about the fact that we might be reaching the end of time.
That is very interesting. But hey, makes sense from what I know. From the peek behind the curtain, I do know that the intelligences, or fates, or whatever you want to call them, they love nothing more than a big old climax going out with a bang. So it would make sense about the end times approaching.
Isn't that true with any author?
I would think so. At this particular venture, there's a few more things to worry about, sort of in the here and now, like right away. For instance, one of your brothers is here. He's going to be causing some trouble. It's digestion.
Oh dear.
Yeah, I'm afraid he slipped in, and you can imagine that he's headed right to the snacks tent.
Sure. Well, he has appetites for several things. Digestion.
Exactly. So you guys might want to check on that. And there's something else as well. Under the earth, in this very spot, a dragon is slumbering. Unfortunately, all this rock and roll sounds maybe groovy, but it's waking up that dragon.
But wait,
Not
if you
surprising.
knew it was here, then why did you allow the concert to happen?
Well, what's going to happen is going to happen. I mean, I can try and stop it, but like I said, whatever intelligence is designing this, that's the way it wants it to be. In fact, there's some other stuff that might happen here today, and even though I've gotten that peek behind the curtain, I can't change it. You just got to write it out.
It's like seeing into your own future.
Exactly.
Sounds very much like somebody else that I'm looking for. Something that she would say.
Mm-hmm.
Are you familiar with a person named Sister Midnight?
Yeah, he like lights up with that. He's like, I would say I am extremely familiar.
And do you know her location?
Thinks about it. He's like, could look into it.
We are concerned that we are having a very difficult time locating her. Normally we can keep track of any mortal, but she...
Yeah, she's got a tendency to slip through the cracks.
Yes. So if you might have any idea of her whereabouts, this might help prevent the upcoming triumvirate of apocalypse.
Yeah, he taps his head and he's like, I will think it over, and I can probably locate her. I'll get the information to you, I do promise you that. But Sister Midnight, the kind of stuff she does, sometimes the fate or the narrator, she does stuff that even confuses him. Throws him through for a loop. But I'll keep that in mind. I'll start searching for him. Now, in the meantime, you guys have problems aplenty. You better go check out Buddy Digestion and see what you can do about that dragon, too.
Good to meet you. Thank you. Rock on, man.
You opened our eyes to the world, man.
I'm happy to do it. Though I gotta say, for you, maybe you keep those eyes closed.
I don't have eyes.
Alright. Well, the too late for that. Alright, so now you know Digestion is there.
Yeah.
The snacks tent.
I'll go look for him.
Alright, he's not too hard to spot.
Yeah.
So, Kat, what does Digestion look like? As he's sitting there at like a table by himself, just chowing down.
Digestion is a giant ruddy Scotsman.
Oh, cool.
Like he's like 6'8", just built like a freaking tank. Like chest hair coming out of his button-down shirt, which is just straining out all the muscle on top and all the fat around his belly.
Well, he's working his way through just loads and loads of corn dogs, just tossing the sticks behind him, getting in a large bone pile there in the dirt.
Is he leaving anything for anyone else?
Nope. And in fact, he's starting to, his jaw is starting to like unhinge, and he's starting to look around at some of the other concert goers hungrily. Like he might start digesting them pretty soon.
Indulging your hunger, brother.
Too right I am. These corn dogs are but an apple. Oh my Scottish accent's so bad. These corn dogs are but an appetizer. This is like weird Northern Irish. This is not even trying. Look, okay, I'll say he speaks in the Scottish accent. You all know what that sounds like. These corn dogs are but an appetizer to the feast I'm gonna have next.
Are you thinking about eating people? Because, quite honestly, that is against the rules.
He's like, the rules sounds like a bunch of dieting bollocks to me.
We're not allowed to directly harm people, otherwise I would constantly be beating everybody up.
Okay, he paused. He's like, all right, people won't eat them. Dragon Man, however,
I was a person once.
he jumps and tries to eat you. So, unless someone defends you, you're gonna take a powerful blow as his jaw unhinges, goes Dragon Man wide. He's gonna try and swallow you up.
So I could make his
Yeah.
mouth very hot.
Oh man, well he likes spicy food, so.
Well, it's not really spice. It's more charbroiled.
Oh, he might be okay with that. Anyway, is
I'll go
anybody...
ahead and try to defend him.
Okay, let's have so you roll the defend there.
So somebody is not.
Let's see. Well, that is not great, but on the other hand, it is a 7.
Hey,
Okay, so you do save him. However, the problem is you end up falling into his mouth as well. Or not as well, instead. You shove Emerald Drake out of the way, and you are like going down his throat into the weird endless pocket dimension that is Digestion's belly. Alright, so what are the rest of you guys doing?
doesn't that count as people?
No, she's a limitless, and also I was trying to eat the Dragon Man.
It has the word man in it. That means he's a person.
Lots of food has the word man in it.
Like what?
Hungry Man dinners.
That's a brand.
You know what I mean.
No, I don't know what you mean. Spit that out the senstant.
Let's have you. Are you going to try and provoke him to do this?
I'm
'Cause
trying
he's
to
in-
convince
He's
him.
in eating mode, so it's going to be tricky. But you can go for a pure provoke if you want to.
Provoke, nuts. Yeah, it wouldn't be comfort or support. I'm telling him.
Yeah. This is like you're convincing him to try and spit out his sister there.
Okay, so I got a straight up 6.
Oh.
Does not work.
He says, "I'm not going to spit her up. In fact, I'm going to wash her down with some alien," and he just tries to eat you.
No.
Or actually, no, not you. He's like, "You know what I really need after taking a nice bite of my own sister? It's a wee bit of vegetables." And he grabs Shroot and is going to try and eat Shroot.
No.
No. Ooh, okay. So can I either try to defend Shroot or shapeshift him to a very, very large thing? Like he just grows immense.
Ooh.
So like he hopefully makes
Yeah, stops
digestion
his...
like dwarfed by him.
Okay, so which would you rather do? Both are good options, I think.
I think it'd be more fun to see the gigantic.
Yep, let's do it. All right, so roll for
Yeah.
Shroot to unleash his plant powers there. Again, big thanks to Samantha Marie Ketchum for designing the trainer add-on, which lets these wonderful battle beasts join us. Though I guess Abby the avocado is no more. What's that?
10.
Whoa! All right, so how does this look?
Lumbering, but he's having fun with it, and maybe big enough to try to stomp. At least maybe kick.
Okay, so digestion's sort of hurt. He's getting a
He's
little
at the
bit.
roof of the tent, basically, though. He's like, because we're in a tent, right?
It was kind of like outside the tent, so an outdoor
okay.
eating area. The
Like
tent's
the
like where
tent.
the food is served up.
Sorry, okay.
Digestion, in fact, is like knocked back by this, with Shroot kind of stuck in his jaw. The whole weird mix goes rolling over and crashes into the kitchen area. So there is batter, corn dog bits everywhere, and Digestion is kind of writhing, still trying to grab more and shove into his gullet.
So I'm basically just going to try and just hit his stomach as hard as I can to see if I can get him to just get rid of everything.
All right, go for it. Give me a
punch.
directly engage. Oh no!
4.
All right, we'll mark potential there, and I level up.
Leveled up.
Ooh,
Nice.
all right. Well, that is cool.
There you go.
So he rolls over. He is like growing in size too.
Oh no.
He is now like 4 times as big as a person. People are starting to scream and freak out. Even in a superhero concert, this is a little weird. As this giant obese man is starting to rampage. It's very Attack on Titan, but much grosser.
Oh dear.
He is clothed, thankfully. His clothes get big with him. They're magical.
Oh, thank God.
But he's still starting to grab stuff and devour it. So, Kat, meanwhile, you are in the weird dark portal with a bunch with all kinds of food, maybe other stuff that he's eaten. Whole cows, animals, just going back centuries these been around. So what are you doing in there?
I'm going to teleport out of here
Okay.
because this is all shadow. I'm going to imagine it's quite dark.
Yeah, so give me an unleash your powers to get out of there.
Oh, I do.
Whoa,
That's an
so
11.
you could even do like a cool, so like how does this look?
Basically, she pops out of his chest like an alien.
He's
It
like,
doesn't hurt him in
you
any way. It's
screech?
just a shadow.
You're like,
Yeah, it's just
coming out.
out of his chest.
Devotion. Devoted to movie tropes.
yeah, who knew she was such a big sci-fi fan?
Oh, I love movies. I think everybody should watch them more often.
I'm sure that'll
And
happen.
over and over.
Over and over. Memorize every line from it. Every line.
Ooh. So, Digestion says, "This is like that James Cameron movie about..." Or wait, no, Ridley Scott directed the first one. I don't. Look, you're the film buff. Anyway,
I'm just kind of sitting in the portal, like out of his stomach.
my favorite part of the movie-going experience is the snacks. And unless I get a lot more of them, I'm gonna forget some of my limitless training and start feasting on the people around here.
Well, the problem is, brother, that I have now created a portal back out of you. And therefore, well, and then I just like sort of gesture a cat, like a whole cow emerges out of the portal.
And he's like, so you're saying that whatever I eat will now fall right out of me?
That's correct, unless you stop this nonsense.
Challenge accepted. He reaches down. He grabs. I'm gonna say.
have 2 butts.
He grabs. He grabs DJ Jumpy J, who had just finished a magnificent set and was going to hang out with some fans. And he's like, "How about some frog legs?" And DJ Jumpy J is freaking out and crying.
Okay.
What are you guys gonna do?
That's it. I'm gonna tase him.
Great idea. So is this with when did you get this?
No powers and not nearly enough training. Got it in the last episode. Remember when you picked up that?
Oh,
what
right.
was it? Was it a grenade launcher?
Yeah, mid.
I think when you were like at the lab, the intercalations lab.
Yeah, I picked up a
Good method.
taser. Never used it until now. So I would use mundane for this instead of danger. And think for that. So 9.
Okay, so this is
Directly
engage with this taser. All right, so you zap him with a 9. You can pick one. Which will you do?
I'm going to impress him.
Ooh, okay, so the zap singes his chest here, and he says, "Ooh, that's a spot of indigestion." He lowers DJ Jumpy J, who is still in his big meaty fist, and he says, "That was well struck for a weird floating cloud."
He was holding the taser in his smoke hand.
Yeah.
You like that? Huh? Stop
Not-
acting like a dick.
I'm just hungry, man.
Then don't eat people. Eat the food. Normal food. We got
Food's-
plenty of it.
Food's not enough. Not for the sustenance I really crave. Besides, this frog isn't a person. He's a frog.
He's DJ Jazzy J. He's here to say something.
DJ Jumpy J is like, I'm here to rock the mic in a major way.
So can't you just put him down? Calm down.
Are you going for
just-
comfort and support or
Yeah.
to provoke? Okay, I can accept either for that, but yeah.
And just enjoy the show.
Ooh, I like it. How'd you do with that?
That is 3, 7.
Okay. So,
not as well as I intended.
yeah, so he hears you. He sets DJ Jumpy J down. He was like, thank you. I'll give you a mention of my latest track if you want, man. You want to be featured on one of my hot raps? It can be DJ Jumpy J featuring Mr. Mystical.
Yeah, sure, why not?
Yeah.
Not exactly a fan of your rap, but sure.
Cool,
Free
it'll be
publicity.
sweet. He hops away. But Digestion dejectedly sits down on this carpet, still kind of oversized, and he's like, so what are you saying? What here can I get to stop my craving for food?
Any suggestions, guys? I'm kind of out of ideas.
Brother, you're
Yes?
supposed to be feeding off of the energy of people who are eating. You're not supposed to be eating directly.
But they're not eating enough. In this age, it's all fad diets and tofu and juice cleanses. The corn dogs here we're barely selling. If you could maybe inspire the others here to eat, perhaps I'll be able to get some sustenance from that.
Can I try to hypnotize him otherwise? With
Okay.
telepathy? Like
That might-
blast his mind to like think low caloric intake is okay. He's getting the mass. He's still getting the mass, you know.
Yeah, that might work. All right, so give me
Unless you had-
I'm gonna do what you want.
yeah, maybe you can start with that idea, and then maybe you could make some others want to eat as well. You get sustenance from that. But let's try your mind control thing.
Yeah, no.
Okay, well, it's not working.
All right,
It's 5.
So can I do a thing?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Brother, what if I told you that I'm currently working on a man named Atkins
What's up?
about a diet that is entirely based around eating as much meat and fat as humanly possible at all times?
Sounds miraculous.
Now, I am willing to put a lot of effort into using my powers of devotion to make sure that this Atkins diet really catches on across the planet. And you'll be up to your eyeballs in meat and fat and all the things that you enjoy in life. And
I
no more
certainly
of
do.
this
Tofu.
diet, drinks, and tofu. I will make the future based upon meat and fat if you simply leave these people alone.
Give me a either provoke or the powers that you have.
I'll
A symbol
go
of
with
authority.
the symbol of authority, because I'm talking, yeah. Oh shit, that's terrible. That's actually a failure.
He says,
Snake Eyes.
a future where people are obsessed with bacon and fatty meats? Impossible. He is not believing it. And he is going to start eating some more people unless you guys can do something. Also, Emerald Drake, while this is going on, you're getting some weird draconic energy.
Yep.
Picking it up from below the earth below your feet. So it's going to happen pretty soon.
Yep. Oh yeah, this is gonna be once again strange, but I have just rearranged my labels.
Okay, cool. That's a good thing you can do when you level up.
Yep. So I would like to. This is slightly outside of my
Your wheelhouse.
wheelhouse.
There. Yeah.
But I would like to see if I can connect to the draconic energy that this dragon is giving off, and sort of see if I can manipulate it in a way to sort of keep him at bay for a little bit.
Okay, so kind of let him feed off of the dragon energy below you.
Yeah, I think so.
All right. So let's roll. Will this be unleash your powers, or what do you think this would be?
Yeah, I think it would be.
Okay.
Okay. It's 11.
Whoa. All right. So you were able to get the kind of hunger that a dragon has. Hook it up to his brain, and he's like, "There's something here. I just became aware of something here far hungrier than maybe even I will ever be.
Oh, yep.
Maybe if I just wait a little bit,
Yeah,
I'll be able to feed off of that."
There's been something slumbering for many a year.
And I think it's sleeping still, but maybe one more loud noise will wake it up.
I would
Brother,
rather-
if you fart,
Please.
That is very rude.
and not unheard of in your case.
Well, perhaps. I mean, it does come with the diet. Look, I'm embarrassed about my flatulence, I'll say it. And he plops down instead of waiting. He's not grabbing any people to eat, though.
Okay.
And he lets Shroot go. And you can hop out of his belly there.
Alright, yeah.
Maybe some cows fall out, too.
I'll
So
close
water
the
away.
portal behind me, too.
Yep, zips closed. Cutting a chicken in half. Just trying to fly away, yeah. Pretty sad. So, one more loud noise will wake up this dragon. And then right in there on the concert stage, the next act comes out. It is Papa Swing's Hot Wings. And you hear a bunch of, ska trumpets and this whole sort of ska retro swing. Big Bad Voodoo Daddy, Cherry Poppin' Dandies.
Squirrel nut zippers.
Yeah, Squirrel Nut Zippers. All of that whole 90s aesthetic is coming over.
Hot swing.
Yes, Papa Swing's Hot Wings is what it's called. Because it's led by Papa Swing himself, a.k.a. Pigeon Prince. He comes out wearing a gray zoot suit. And now, Papa Swing's joined by Sonny Swing, who is the Magpie Monarch, who you guys fought earlier.
Is it just me, or are all the bands in this really led by a bunch of very old people?
I mean, Cloud Screamer's young. Mother Scales is kind of old. DJ Jumpy J's young. The Triple R were
Well, the
Musigursky.
triple R are young, for sure.
Yeah, Musigursky was a young woman, but Talus was he's a 2-year-old rat. He's very young. Same with Amadeus the Beaver and Chopin the Choppin' Chinchilla.
Yeah,
They're
but
all very
how
young.
old is Agent Emerald at this point?
Ancient Emerald?
Yeah, he's in his 40s.
Something like that. Wouldn't it be? No.
I think
Was
he's
he
in his
in his-
50s at this point.
Yeah, he's in his
Yeah,
50s,
he's in
but
his
look,
50s, yeah.
he's... Hey, true rebels never grow old, as he would say.
Besides, vitality absorption. He probably
Yes.
looks
Oh
like
yeah,
this
he was.
long.
I know he's a lawless absorbent vitality.
Yeah.
Look, he plays a traditional Irish fiddle in Potemkin Promise. It's a weird group.
But are we sure we want the dragon to wake up, though?
Well, it's kind of too late because the Magpie Monarch is blasting out those ska trumpets.
Crap.
And Papa Swings is starting to singing about Zoot Suit riots and so on, and you can already fear the ground is filling with tremors.
Can I find the sound system?
Yes. I mean, it's all hooked up on the front stage, but like you could tell the dragon is waking up like right now.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna go find AJ.
Find what? Sorry.
AJ.
Ooh. Okay. Let's have Emerald Drake do the sound system thing, and then we'll have you find Mr. AJ. All right. So are you flying over to the stage? Like you can see the sound system is all like they got the microphones all set up there.
Well, usually there's like way out front. Sorry, I'm the sound guy.
Okay, cool. I have no idea anyway. This works. So
basically,
I'll
it's
definitely
all,
defer to
all
you.
Of the,
Yeah, for
all
sure.
the mics and stuff are there's a soundboard like farther away so that the sound guy can actually hear what's going on with the concert. And so I fly over to the sound guy and like just cut it now, and hopefully that can convince him to stop what's going on.
He's like, I can't kill the music, man.
If you don't kill the music now, something way worse is going to happen, and it's already actually happening. So
Give me a provoke on this guy. This Sandman's very dedicated. He was paid to do a job, which is to rock.
it's very true. Although he's probably already been paid. But anyways,
Yeah.
provoke is
That's superior.
Ooh, you're superior. So 13.
Nice.
Whoa. Okay, I would say you get +1 to sound guy, but I don't think he'll
Nice.
return. I will say, Mystical and Devotion, you both get +1 to digestion because he really respects the way you try to connect with him, and he likes the way he was super impressed by the way you like popped out of his chest.
Gave his chest the shave it hasn't had in a
Yeah.
while.
And you were sort of nice to him. You kind of make fun of his farts, but he's got to expect that from you.
All right.
All right, so yeah, the sound guy's like, okay,
So-
whatever you say, man, I'll listen to you, dragon dude.
I'm surprised you don't know who I am. Anyways, so
Dragon dude, isn't that your name?
it's Emerald Drake. I was part of the Wild Dragons.
Yeah, the
He's-
lead singer of Emerald Drake, Dragon dude.
It was the Wild Dragons, man.
sucks.
Anyways,
All right, you got the soundboard.
all right. So once the sound is cut, I'm sure that confuses the heck out of the guys on stage. So I fly over onto the stage and just be like, sorry guys to cut this short, but we have a bigger problem.
Bring back the music, man. Boo. Pigeon Prince says, I'm trying to bond with my son through the wonder of retro swing.
No, I understand this, and you're probably not going to believe me, but there's a dragon below us, and it's
Oh, that's bad news, Daddy-O. The Magpie King is like, Dad, what's going on?
We are probably gonna be having some very big trouble.
All right, well, there's a bunch of ravens and blackbirds around here. I could maybe help.
Well, if you're willing to give it a shot.
All right, should we? We got to get rid of the audience. Like they're gonna get hurt if there's. You can already see
Oh yeah.
bits of steam and like dirt are starting to jut
yeah.
up from the earth there.
All right. Well.
All right, so let's give you a chance to think about how you want to play this. Let's have Kat seeing AJ and then Dallas. What you're you're up to something too? I think.
Just to hold the ground more.
Okay.
But she's
All right, so let's see what Kat's doing, and then we'll come back to you too. So Kat, you find AJ, and he's picked up a prime filming position, sort of like he knows about like what's going to go on, and he's got his crew set to film the stage in the concert area.
Seems like you know what's going to happen already.
What gives you that idea?
Well, you pointed exactly at the spot where things are going to start
I'm
coming out.
filming a concert doc. It's like Woodstock '99 with costumes and
You have no need to lie.
mud fight. Maybe more mud fights. I don't know.
AJ, I pat him on the cheek. You have no reason to lie to me. I provided you with the tape that you had lost earlier.
Oh, so you did give him the tape that showed you and the eXtreme Executioners and Extinction battling it out?
Yep.
He's like,
I winked under here. You can't see that.
yeah, you're right, totally. I'll take your word for the wing. He's like, yeah, you're right, and that was a great video. So
I know, and I think this is going to be a great video too. Please don't pretend that I'm one of these imbecilic heroes that cares about saving the day. Blah, blah. I want the maximum number of people to see the maximum amount of carnage. It's this sort of thing that gets the proverbial asses in seats, don't you think?
I 100% agree.
Exactly, AJ, Booby, John. You really must stay in touch with me. I have the ear of every major studio head in Hollywood. And
Ooh.
Bollywood, if India's more of your thing.
Well, I would like to branch out to foreign markets. I mean, there's all kinds of great superheroes all over the place, and if we can film what they're doing up to too, why not? Like bring superheroes right into every living room.
Exactly, and that's why you need to keep me in the loop. This is my card.
All
Like
right.
a card appears out of shadow.
Whoa, sweet special effects,
Thank
hood
you.
lady.
I've been working with Mr. James Cameron.
Oh, well, I'm a big fan of him.
Mm-hmm.
But
And I think he'll be a big fan of you someday. Provided
Well-
that he ever gets out of his silly little submarines that he's obsessed with.
oh yeah, that guy. Anyway, we do different things. He's into Terminator 2s and whatnot, and I'm serving up reality. So
Oh, I think you'll find that reality is really the wave of the future. I sincerely believe in what you're doing, Mr. AJ.
ooh, I like it. All right,
But
well.
you need to keep me in the loop. I can help you in ways that you cannot even imagine.
Okay. Well, I'll keep that in mind. I'll give you a rig next time something big shows up.
Exactly. I just want to know what's going on. I can provide the extras to your scenes, as they were.
Nice. Sounds like a plan. If you want to do something for me right now, why don't you go mix it up with that dragon that's about to bust out?
I see no reason not to.
Okay, I'll be filming, and he gets his crew to film. So, meanwhile, Dallas, you're going in the concert, the crowd right now, where you can see bits of steam are starting to jut up, and the earth's rumbling a little bit as the smooth ska swing sounds of Papa Swing's Hot Wings sort of fade away.
I'm gonna try to yell at whoever's closest to me to tell them to try to get the crowd out, and I'd like to try to hold the ground with like density
All
if
right.
I can, just for a little bit longer till the
Okay, so
crowd
to
can clear.
get the crowd to move, because they paid good money.
Right,
They're spending like $4 for a water bottle.
I don't think I have that in me. I don't think
Yeah.
I'm intense enough, but I want to try to hold the ground a little bit until someone else can do it.
Okay, I mean, I can go provoke on the crowd if you want to. But if to hold the ground, why don't you give me unleash your powers for that one? So I'll let you decide like one or the other.
I'm gonna try to hold the ground. Smoke or dragons might have
Do crowd
maybe,
control.
maybe a better chance.
Okay.
Yeah, I hold that ground for a little bit longer.
Nice.
It's 12. So.
Okay, yeah. So definitely there's some more time. Mr. Mystical, what are you up to?
Honestly, the dragon's below ground, right?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we have a chance to take it out before it actually gets up here.
Okay. What's
So-
the plan here?
Phase down into the ground, into the dragon, and take it out from the inside out.
Interesting. So you're gonna the dragon's gonna inhale you?
Yes.
Whoa. Unlike our president at the time, you're gonna try and make this dragon inhale. A little bit of topical comedy.
I don't know if it's actually
Yeah,
going
I'm politically
to work.
incorrect over here.
So, in case I don't make it back, keep up the good fight, guys.
What?
See ya. And I
Not
sink down
here
into
yet.
the ground.
With that you seep under the earth. Okay. You float your way down through the earth, and there indeed is a large green dragon. Not an emerald drake, an emerald dragon. Very, very huge. Like, maybe not Godzilla sized, but definitely, Game of Thrones full grown size. Curled up in there. And it's starting to wake up. Its eyes are flashing open. Steam starting to come out of its nostrils and in the various cracks of its scales as it's rising up. So, Mr. Mystical, what do you do?
I'm going to jump right down its throat.
Whoa. Okay. Why don't you? What do you think? I think you would roll. Are you going to do this in like an aggressive way? That would be like directly engaged, like use this to fight the dragon, or are you going to try and do this in more of a way to? Actually, I think probably directly engage is the best one because you're aiming to hurt. So.
All right. Would second dimension actually work?
What's that one?
When you stand strong while dramatically under fire, roll savior instead of danger.
Ooh, yes. I mean, taking on a dragon alone is definitely a suck-it-the-mission moment.
Well, what do you know? That's a 14.
Whoa.
Nice.
All right, you fly under there. You get into the dragon's bloodstream through its nose. You're floating through it, and you were able to drastically slow it. So it's starting to rise up, but it's coming up so slowly that you could easily avoid it with a simple step. And that's what most people in the crowd are like starting to do.
So I'm going to give everyone a opportunity, and I'm also going to take the dragon's breathing for a bit.
Okay,
See if
so
I can hold into unconsciousness.
So right
Yeah.
now, has the crowd dispersed at all? They're still like pretty much standing firm, right?
I would say like they're really realizing something is going on right now. So but they might. I mean, the threat of panic and trampling is unfortunately very real.
Can I do something?
Okay.
Unless you had a big plan.
No, I was just gonna basically do the whole, ladies and gentlemen, we're experiencing some natural difficulties.
Ooh, draconic difficulties.
Well, if you all could exit very calmly, that would be amazing.
All right. Well, let's. So you're saying that devotion. What are you doing?
I produce a copy of the Village Choice that I've doctored that says that this festival is totally lame and nobody cool will be seen at it. And I give it to somebody very prominent in the crowd. And go like, look at this. It says that you're lame to be here.
I'm not lame. I'm sick.
So I'm going to go ahead and do my symbol of authority to like get this scenester really convinced that it's totally lame to be here and that like he should just sort of slink away because slinking is the opposite of winning.
Okay.
And hopefully that causes a trend in the crowd. Let's see, that is a 9.
Okay. So
they do what I say.
all right. So yeah, it's like they're like, man, I don't even like this. Ironically.
Oh look, the coolest dude in the crowd is leaving everybody. He thinks this is lame.
Yeah, they start seeping away, and also some weird scaly things coming out from under my feet. So they're moseying away and leaving the stage area. Papa swings hot wings, disappointed, but again, they know it's for the best. There's a dragon coming up.
Yeah.
Pigeon Prince is like, I suppose I'll have to wait for my Zoot Suit inspired stylings at another time.
I might be able to talk to some people.
Pigeon Prince.
Cool. It's, pigeon gray, of course. And he's got a fancy pigeon feather in the brim of his humongous fedora as well. Alright, so the crowd has pretty much dispersed now. The ground has burst, and a green dragon, sleeping and coughing, not coffee, has risen up in front of the stage. Yeah, it needs coffee after it was slumbering for like millennia.
Yep.
So it is up there, swaying on its feet. Definitely looks like it might start breathing fire at any moment. In fact, I'm going to say, Mr. Mystical, since you're like in its nose, it's going to breathe you out as fire. So you're going to take a powerful blow.
Ah, crap.
Yeah. See if you can resist it, though.
7.
Ooh, alright, so not the worst, but as you are exhaled by this dragon, what happens?
So he breathes me out, and I'm literally on fire. You can see Mr. Mystical's face just as the breath of fire. So,
Alright,
yeah. Kind of sucks.
okay. So I'm going to say you are breathed outwards, and you, as fire, hit the stage, and the stage starts burning. Putting Papa Swing's hot wings at risk. So, Emerald Drake, what are you doing? You still have the dragon, which is now returning to consciousness, full swing.
So the stage is on fire with.
Yeah,
basically
Pigeon Prince and the
band.
Magpie King are there too. Yeah.
I would like to grab both of them and fly them away from the fire.
Okay, give me a defend.
Something. 12.
Whoa! All right, those wings come up. You speed into safety. Let's have Flux. You got this big dragon rampaging around. What are you doing?
I would like to actually become a sort of attention-grabbing beacon for it or something like that. Aggro it if I can in a way.
Oh, sure. Give me Unleash Your Powers.
Cool. And I'd like to use like my heliokinesis to sort of outfire it if I can. Like,
Ooh.
Yeah, my flame's better than your flame. Kind of.
Okay, yeah, like lure it closer.
It's 8.
Okay. So I'm gonna say
Mark a condition.
yeah. So you can mark condition, or it can. I'm gonna say it's at the. It's gonna work. You're gonna get in the way, but you're gonna take a powerful blow.
Oof. Okay.
So you're gonna go with that one, or mark a condition.
I already have one. I'm gonna see if I can stand my ground on this one.
All right. So it works well. You
No.
attract it, but like it wants to match your fire with fire, and it
Jesus.
breathes fire on you.
I
So
tried that.
what happens there?
I got messed up hard.
Oh no! All right. So you're gonna pick 2 from the top list then, or
So yeah,
One or two.
so you could pass out for the moment, lose control, or take 2 options from the bottom list.
I'm gonna lose control. Yeah, I flamed too hard.
All right, you are just rampaging around, setting stuff on fire. The other tents are going up. It is bad. At the far end of the concert, Digestion, who is still pretty large, is sort of waddling over to see what's going on. Let's see Devotion. So you can definitely see your brother coming in to examine this chaos too, as this dragon is rampaging.
I approach my brother.
Ah, hello there, sisters. Surprise! He farts in surprise. Oh, didn't do that.
It's okay, brother.
It's not okay. I ripped a chunky one. I'm very embarrassed about it.
Oh, dear.
Brother, it has occurred to me something. That creature has just woken up and has a great hunger. You also have a great hunger.
I.
Would it not sate your appetite to eat a creature of that enormous size?
Give me a provoke. I can see he could come around to the idea.
Let's see. What's provoke is superior? 7.
Okay.
Forget what a 7 on provoke.
Yeah, it's like he can either. He's gonna choose one, so you can take +1 against him. Gain a critical opportunity, gain influence over him. You already have influence. Did you
I already
add
have it. Oh, I didn't add the influence,
Oh,
but that
okay,
still
yes.
just bumps it up to 8.
Oh, all right. Well, so not too big of a change. In that case, I'm gonna say you're getting a critical opportunity. He says, "Well, I might put it in my belly." Also, I should ask: is this guy just fat bastard for
I
me?
mean, yes.
Honestly,
Honestly, I feel like
Yeah, I
Mike
was
Myers
thinking.
might have been in the crowd.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. So we inspired the
Yeah,
character.
I
Take that, Mr. Myers.
I Forrest Gumped you, Mike Myers.
Yeah.
What?
Someone saw it, like, called up, "Hey, Myers, you know that new comedy character?
Yeah.
I think I found it. It's a fat guy.
Take a look at this.
A fat Scots.
Yeah,
fat
as
Scots
a
person."
mechist, you, Mike Myers. Deal with it.
He says, so you're getting an opportunity. He says, "All right, I wouldn't mind snacking on a dragon, but I'm a wee bit worn out. If you can get it to come to me, I'll take a bite out of it and see if I can
Okay.
put it in the old digestion cave, as I call my stomach."
Okay. I'll fly over, and that can be somebody else's turn.
All right, so now you can get the dragon to digestion. He'll try and swallow it up.
Yeah.
He won't kill it. I mean, he doesn't kill stuff that goes into his belly. It can't come out. So
Yeah.
it will give him Lot of gas, though, I'm sure. Nothing like dragon farts.
And if he goes with the gas, I don't want to be anywhere near it. No.
So what are you guys going to do?
I'm rampaging.
Oh, yeah, also, thankfully, most of it's been evacuated. Oh, however, I'm going to say this. As you what does this rampage look like?
A tantrum of me just like throwing fireballs in places, trying to say, I'm better than you.
Well, as you're doing this, you end up scorching the fur of a certain hot-blooded beaver. Amadeus spins around and says, like, you're better than me. Time to chop the wood. And he and the other radioactive rodent start racing in to fight you. Unless one of your friends can do something.
So, by this point, I've probably reformed myself, right?
I'd say so.
I'm going to have a little chat. So,
Oh, okay. With Spider? With Weaver the Brave?
so that's plus Savior, that's a 10. So I'm going to call up the boss, I'm going to take the screen, turn it to video, and point it at this.
He says, mystical, low profile. And now I see a dragon rampaging, a very, very fat Scottish person, and a bunch of angry radioactive rodent. What is going on?
Fix it!
Alright. I've dealt with friends who go crazy into brutal, bloody frenzies before. You gotta find some way to reach him and calm him down before he causes more trouble. So do one thing at a time. Take care of him, get him back on your side. I would say do that first.
Okay.
Then worry about the dragon.
Alright, so I'm going to try and calm you down, Flux. Flux, remember all the good times we had?
What good time?
Flux.
Of course I do. I'm just still spitting fire.
Do you know why we're in the Society of Bizarre? It's because none of us are better than each other. We're all great. We have our own special clique in the Society of Sentinels. We are there because all of us, you included, are the best that you can be. You don't need to prove yourself.
Alright, let's have you roll comfort and support.
A 3, a 2, a 7.
Okay. So it does work. I'm gonna say you can clear condition, Dallas.
Thank you.
And you're able to calm down a bit. You're no longer rampaging around.
And I mark potential because I followed the advice.
Oh, good point. Alright, meanwhile, Emerald Drake, this dragon is still... This dragon and digestion are still kind of opposite ends of the experience there. You still got Magpie Monarch and Pigeon Prince with you too.
Oh, crap.
Oh, yeah.
Papa Swings, Hot Wings.
Yeah. Well, I was going to see if I can maybe grab the dragon and drag him towards digestion, but
That could work.
I still have the other two. So,
Well, they don't have to assist you. They could,
yeah.
they just will if you want them to.
Yeah.
Does, do you have an idea, Flux? Looks like you're thinking of something.
I have
I'd like
an
to-
idea.
Alright, let's see what Devotion would like to do.
Well, no, if you want to go first, it's cool.
Well, I guess I'm obviously going to set them down in a fairly. So, I would probably be more of a. Could you get the birds to maybe distract it?
Okay, he'll do that.
Okay.
So that'll give you kind of a nice bonus. Alright, so Magpie Monarch waves his hands. A whole bunch of blackbirds and ravens swing down and start harassing this dragon,
All right.
keeping it busy.
So I'm going to use this to sort of. I'm trying to think of the best way to do this. I'm going to. As much as it pains me to do this, I'm going to grab it by its tail and drag it over to digestion.
Oh man, drag the dragon. Okay.
I
give
guess
me-
at some point I communicated with them that they need to get the dragon to digestion. That was the thing I was going to bring up. Is
Oh yeah, you had. Well, I should have assumed that. Yeah.
Okay.
I figured just like a simple word balloon, you know. Hey guys.
Yeah.
Okay, give me a directly engage on the dragon.
Oh wait, can I do?
Oh yeah, team points.
Oh yes, this is definitely the time for them. You have 2.
We have 2.
Oh, well, I mean it's a 9 right now, but
Want to make it a 10?
that would probably be a good idea.
All right, 1 team point left. So you have to pick 2 from the list.
All right. I'm going to create an opportunity for. I guess he's an ally.
Yeah, Digestion is sort of an ally now.
Yeah, and then. Just for the fun of it, I'm going to impress the dragon.
Yeah, I mean he's awed by this smaller dragon man beating him up.
Yeah.
You drag him over, you sing closer to Digestion. He's now in front of Digestion, who grabs him with a "Get in my belly." Is trying to shove him in there. They're kind of in a stalemate. They might just need one boost to put the dragon into his throat.
Can I do a thing now?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I'm going to whisper into the dragon's ear. Don't worry, no harm will come to you of this. I've got plans for you. Very big plans.
Ooh.
You're going to be a star.
All right. Well, the dragon doesn't care too much about the star, but maybe you could comfort him a
And
little bit.
you can eat all the horses you want.
Ooh, you might like that. All right, give me the
Oh,
symbol of authority
yeah.
then. Okay, so let's do that.
So let's see. So that's a 10.
Okay.
So I've got 1 + 4 to the dragon. Yeah.
All right. Plus, you also have +1 to this. It's called the green dragon, by the way. We can kind of use that. Dragons have different colors, as we know from Dungeons and Dragons.
Yep.
So this dragon calms down just enough for Digestion to go. Oh. Great sound effects there, I gotta say. And he goes into vanishes into his belly. Digestion lets out a very loud belch and says, "Spicy but delicious." Now he's Shrek. I don't know. You're welcome.
Satisfied now, brother?
I should say so. What happened to the concert? I was hoping to hear the little music too.
No, the concert stage is kind of on fire. My bad.
Yeah.
No, not my bad. The dragon would have burned it down anyways, right?
A good point. So I guess you're all sort of reconvening together. As you're doing this, you see Mr. Star walking out. He goes over to join you. And he says, "Well, you took care of 2 of the things I foresaw, but there's one more that you're not quite going to be able to fix."
Not surprising.
He points over to the sky and he's like, "Yeah, some old friends of yours. Here they come now. A helicopter. It's called the Hell Chopper.
Oh god.
It was once a Commando Corps vehicle, but now it's been reused by the eXtreme Executioners. They are buzzing down. We got Skate Lord, Slizzard, Rude Britannia, and of course, Extinction. All of them pop out. And Extinction, as soon as you land, he swings his humongo gun over to you, and he unleashes a rocket attack on Devotion. He's not even waiting for the to let out a one-liner. He says the one-liner as he follows the rocket, which is going to be like, "Nice to shoot you." So Devotion, you're defending?
Yep.
Okay.
I'll save you. 12.
Nice.
Whoa, alright, so how do you stop this rocket from hitting Devotion?
I think I just sort of just glide over and just bat it up into the air and just have explode into the air.
Ooh, alright, so it flies into the air. So him and the other executioners have touched down. Extinction says, "Back off, SOB bozos. This Star guy is a wanted criminal, corrupting the minds of the youth. He's probably involved with the Nizova robberies. He's at this place right where a dragon appeared. This guy's trouble, and we're taking him down.
On whose authority?
The eXtreme authority.
So no one's.
No gun. I mean, this gun." And he takes a shot at you. So you're taking a powerful blow.
I'll defend him.
All right. Let's roll to defend.
See? What an actual team does.
I know, you guys are probably the most team.
There we go. That is 11.
Dang, yeah, you guys are probably like teamworking the hardest
I'm not
since,
even gonna move.
so
I'm just
far.
gonna sit here.
Yeah, a shadow portal opens up, like actually, like so close to you that it looks like it just goes into you. Like you have this bullet absorb. You don't have a bullet absorbing power, but now it seems like you do.
Also, bullets could just pass through me.
True. But they can clearly also harm you somehow. I don't know. They can though. Aaron, yeah. So now it looks like he's immune to bullets.
Ooh, alright. Stitch doesn't like that, so he just points out at his friend and he's like, alright, heroes, try it again, tear him apart, and they rush over to attack you.
Heroes, they call themselves.
Okay, so, they're all rushing in. Skate Lord is leading the charge with one of his spiky explosive skate lords. Skateboards. Rude Britannia and Slizzard are rushing in as well. What are you guys doing?
I would like to possibly radically shapeshift his gun so that the barrels point left and right at his teammates.
Oh man, you're doing this to Extinction?
Extinction, yeah.
Alright, why don't you roll. So this is the alien tech. I'm just gonna blow my nose.
No, actually no, never mind if I can't do that.
You can do
I
that
would
with
like.
alien tech if you want.
Well, I don't. Oh, actually, I do have alien tech. Yes. Okay.
Okay, so you can. Sorry, why don't you roll for that one? I'll be right back.
All right.
Well,
Nope.
any consolation, you might
Oh
be
no,
able to
wait. It
level
was
up.
yeah, that was a miss. That's a 6.
Okay. I do apologize for all this. Just the allergies are the real supervillain that I'm facing.
I hear you.
Okay, so the gun does not change,
Nope.
and now Rude Britannia is going to hit you. So she comes over and holding out her fingers, giving you an electrical blast. So you're going to take a powerful blow.
I'll defend it.
Ooh. All right, roll defend.
That is a 7.
Okay, so you managed to do it. Unfortunately, the electricity courses through you, so you're gonna take that blow for him.
Ouch.
The flux is safe.
3.
Nice.
Cool. How do you avoid it?
Potential.
Thank you, Mr. Mister.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna grab Flux and make us both intangible.
Oh, nice.
It's gonna feel very weird, but don't worry.
It's a weird thing. However, the electricity is going right through it. Extinction, like
That's how you live.
Extinction, like a bully from a film with a period, is very much getting upset at his
Feels tricky,
teammates,
doesn't it?
and he's like,
So-
"Stop screwing around, murderate them."
Yep. Hey, Extinction. You want to see what a real gun is? And I pull out the gun that he gave me last session.
Ooh, nice.
It's a real.
Yes. It works exceptionally well. I can speak English, I swear. Once. So I don't know exactly how he tweaked it, but
It's got an overcharge, and yeah, it just works well.
yep. So
It's a good gun.
yeah, and I just fire it and
All
overcharge
right,
it.
let's see what happens. And this one, I'm trying to remember it. This one worked out perfectly, right?
Yeah, I didn't cross the wires on this one.
Ooh, all right, cool. I know we had some other issues with your
Oops.
last time, but this
Full
one,
auto grenades.
yeah, but this one worked out. So
Yep.
let's see what it does.
Directly engage.
Yeah.
Right? All right. It's a 9.
All right, so you can pick one as well as you blast into him with this heavy rifle.
Yep. That's a good. Well. I guess because of my one-liner, I would say I impressed him.
Okay, I mean he's impressed. Like
Yeah.
he respects one thing: humongous guns. I guess 2 things: shoulder pads as well. Likes those.
3 things: pouches.
Yes, and pouches, lots of them. So he is blasted. He's wearing like pretty heavy armor, pouch-based armor. So it takes that shot, and he's knocked onto his back and flies back, and he's looking a little bit weaker there.
Well, That was interesting.
Kapow! 50 cal straight to the chest.
You said this only works once, right?
Exceptionally well.
Gotcha.
All right, so now Skate Lord. I'm gonna say Skate Lord and Slizzard are both zooming towards you, Devotion. What are you gonna do?
I was actually going to fight the good fight where I'm attacking while pulling my punches. So it actually really works out well that they're both attacking me because my plan is to sort of be poofing in and out of the shadows between the two of them so that they end up accidentally hitting each other.
Ooh, sure.
Nice.
Okay.
So like, oh, almost, not quite.
Ooh,
There
nice.
you go. Right
As
over here.
yeah, so let's roll that fight the good fight.
Yeah, so
See what happens there.
I get to roll on plus savings now, plus
Cool.
danger. Nice.
It's a good.
Yeah, so that's a 13.
Whoa. All right. So it
so-
works very well. Uh-huh.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to resist or avoid their blows, and I'm going to take their camaraderie from them
Ooh.
because
Okay.
they hit each other and then they get pissed off at each other.
Yeah, they are so pissed off. Slizzard is like, "You skateboarding sucker, stop it!" And he takes his big blade-tipped stick, or naginata, I think they're called. I don't know Japanese weaponry too well, but I think that's what it's called. And he swats Skate Lord, who beefs it, and he falls back and lands onto that burning stage. One of his burning skateboards, or not one of his skateboards, loaded with explosives, lands next to him, and he is stuck there with his skateboard cooking off next to him. Unless one of you guys can do something. Don't let him ollie his way to doom.
Violence.
Lots of violence.
I'm gonna look at him, and I'm just gonna walk off.
Oh man.
Yes, give in to your hatred.
Oh man.
It's not hatred. It's why I'm here.
Dang. All right.
I'll grab him.
All right. So Emerald Drake rushes over. And
Actually, no. I'm going to grab the board and just chuck it up into the air.
ooh. Okay. Let's have you roll defend for this one.
9.
Nice. Okay.
Yes, protect your enemy.
Yep. Well, Devotion's doing good either way.
It doesn't matter to me.
No.
Like,
Yeah.
both are doing things you believe in. It's all
So
good.
it does. He is safe, but as you lift the board up, it explodes in the air, and you catch some nasty shrapnel.
Yeah.
So you're taking a powerful blow.
Bounces off my scales.
Ooh, and you're okay. Well, you're getting a lot of potential. I think you already leveled up and get even more.
Even more potential.
Yeah, so
Evolve
right
into
now-
a bigger dragon.
I can't mutate any further.
Then
We'll find a way.
Flux, you thinking of something, or
Well, wait. So the stage is on fire. Who's still opposing us?
really, Rude Britannia's the only one.
Just Root Britannia.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mace, they got her working again.
This is I like to mess with their mind. Like you're on your own right now. You might as well just pack up what you can and go home.
Ooh, okay. Give me unleash your powers
You're
now.
way outnumbered and outpowered.
Okay.
Dark potential.
Yeah, I already
So
leveled
you
up
don't
this
quite
game,
change your
and I've already
mind.
got 2 more.
But she is reconvening. She rushes back and hurries over to Extinction, and is helping him up. And he grabs his gun, and he like twists it around a little bit, and then he says, "All right, you guys have pushed me this far. It's time for me to load up the Hero Killer." And he swings the super bullet around. But as he's gonna fire it, Mr. Star zoops over and takes the shot.
What?
Yeah, and Mr. Star just totally, unarmed, walking over and is shot and blasted right through the chest. And he collapses.
So, they've proven themselves to not be heroes.
And not very heroic there, was it? Not really anything a hero does. is it?
Station's like, he is coming right at me.
Very slowly. With
Well,
no
I
weapons.
had, and while he is very confused about this, there is a big crackle in the sky, and Imperium Prime. In fact, Dallas, this is your character from the last art.
Mm-hmm.
How does he look now that he is the master of the Society of Sentinels? What cool cosmic outfit is he rocking?
Oh, he's got like platinum studded, black leathered, the shiniest but also the most badass metallic armor you can think of. Kiss, eat your heart out. Yeah.
Ooh. All right. So he is flying down from the sky.
With the sword guitar. Yeah.
Oh yeah, with his rocking out with the sword guitar. Monarch Merman is floating down with him on some cool Atlantean flying machine. Maybe not Fazandu, he's probably not in the upper echelons. But I think Princess Worm, she probably went pretty high up in Society of Sentinels. So she's zooming down on her alien craft as well. And they all land over and start with very swiftly taking out... I mean, the Extreme Acutors are already pretty much stopped, but like, they're binding them up. He's raising his hands, lashing Extinction's arms and legs together, and like disarming him, and they are stopped pretty neatly. So
That's how it's done.
Imperium Prime floats over. All of you are surrounding Mr. Star, who is like looking up at the sky as he is breathing his last. And he says, "It's like I told you. We're just all playing parts in the story. But I won't worry about it. Something tells me that in this story, I'll come back again. Maybe my real name, Cygnus, will even play a role in it." And he looks over to you, Devotion. He's like, "I'm still going to keep that promise. I'll find Sister Midnight." And then he closes his eyes and apparently dies.
No.
Yeah.
Well, does my sister show up?
Hmm?
Demise.
Oh, yeah, take him away?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can see her coming. What does Demise look like?
She basically just looks like Susie Sue. I'm not gonna try to be that girl.
All right, cool. Neil Gaiman, please. So like
Neil Gaiman.
so sort of like Neil Gaiman's. Please don't sue us, Neil Gaiman. I know how litigious you are.
Is he?
No, not at all. I'm sure he's a totally cool.
He's probably pretty
I follow him on Twitter. He seems like a really nice guy. I'm just joking. I think it'd be funny that Neil Gaiman's like a tyrant at home.
Oh,
He's like
the-
American gods, more like American clods.
You know what? I'll take that back. Demise looks like Amanda Palmer of the Dresden Dolls.
Oh, all right, very cool.
It will really tie this in with
Yeah, that makes sense. This is a love letter to the works of Neil Gaiman, not a ripoff. Homage. Yes, we do. I personally do appreciate all those works. So this Amanda Palmer looking death, Demise,
Yeah,
comes
Demise.
over.
Demise.
Comes over. You can see her helping up Mr. Star, Cygnus, and leading him away into the distance. Probably only you can see this, Devotion.
Yeah.
Everybody else just sees like a dead body.
Yeah.
So Imperium Prime is like looking over to you guys, and he says, "Drake, what happened here? The rest of you, you see what happened?"
Well,
Although I actually do disappear because I want to talk to Demise. So,
yeah, she does that.
Okay,
yeah.
we'll do your chat with Demise in just a second.
So, sir, I don't know if you've gotten any of the information that we've gathered.
Well, I'm sort of aware of the Society of Bizarre. I mean, you operate adjacent to the Society of Sentinels. I'm keeping good contact with Sarah.
Yeah.
She's
I'm
a
sure-
righteous chick, I would say.
Yeah, I'm sure she's told you about what I saw with one of the artifacts that we acquired.
Yeah, but these dragons,
Yeah.
very intense. And she passed the information up. We're working on it. We're locating these other dragons, and whew, it's a tough situation. I'll say that.
Yeah, well, thanks to one of Devotion's siblings, we've temporarily dealt with one. So,
And he says, like, but what happened over here? What did he points over to Extinction. What did he do exactly? Extinction's like, you saw he was charging at me. I had to do it.
he was walking slowly.
He's aggressive.
And that was after they opened fire on us.
Extinction's like, hey, sometimes you just need some full auto heroics. You know
They
what
didn't even say that they had any authority over this.
Well, the authority is the
The
caliber
authority is standing in front of you.
gun. Imperium Prime was like, yeah, just shut up. Look. Okay, so you can You can definitely be a witness to this.
Oh, of course.
To what happened. All right, good.
There was also some trouble in a nightclub, or should I say outside of a nightclub.
All right,
Where
well, come
they
in mind.
attacked us again.
Yeah, he was over extinction. He's like, someone like you can never be a hero. You're gonna go to trial for murder, because that's what this was. And extinction is like, man, I'll be out in the street in no time.
You know, Mr. Prime, you could always hand it over to Spider. We kind of deal with these little internal problems anyway.
Imperium Prime is like, it's possible, but I believe in the rule of law. Like, I'm a hero here, and we gotta let the law do its course. So, thanks for the offer, but
Alright, so long as
We're
we
gonna do
don't
what's
have
right here.
Another commando corps situation.
I should hope not. Mr. Starr is kind of a beloved institution. To see him go down like this, it's not right.
Yeah.
I mean, your word is definitely good enough. What if we had something else too, like some sort of, I don't know, video? It could be sure.
Well,
We do. That guy.
AJ?
Yes, where is he?
In fact, AJ, he was still in that spot filming everything, and he is like, he got the motherload video right there.
AJ, why don't you get over here?
All right, man. He was over with his camera.
You wouldn't happen to have the filming from the nightclub, would you?
Yeah, I got that too. I thought it got damaged, but let's just say, well, I'll just say I had a backup copy.
Just don't
He winks at you.
sugarcoat it. It was devotion.
Oh, cool. All right. And I know what you're gonna ask. Did I get what just happened on camera? The answer is yes. I'll give you a copy, provided you get AJ Rules Productions right there in the logo, and I get rights to sell it to all the news companies.
That's up to our leader.
Imperium Prime was like, yeah, we'll talk about it, bottom feeder. Alright. So, they haul away Extinction to face trial for what he did.
What about the other two? Or three?
Yeah, the other three. Yeah, they're the entire Extremecutioners were
Association.
yeah. I mean, they didn't
Heroes
actually pull the trigger, but yeah, they are definitely going to be stripped of their hero label for sure. So, meanwhile, let's just say, while this is going on, Devotion, you flip over to Demise, as she is leading away Mr. Star's soul. What do you say to her?
Sister, this is the second time in a very short period of time where one of our numbers has gone unchecked and deviated from the plan set for us by delineation. Do you have any idea what's happened with... I understand with Desmond, he's always been his own man, but...
Boring man, but yeah.
Yes, but Digestion, he's always towed the line of the Limitless.
I don't know. It seems, well, I think you mentioned earlier to me that delineation has kind of fallen apart.
Yes, I worry about Delineation's sanity, although... I don't know. It's how do you relate to a being that lives entirely backwards?
It's difficult. Yeah, he was never all that together to begin with, but lately, I don't know, and all of us seem to be falling apart. My guess is it's the Millennium.
Yes.
Something in the air.
How is Drow's holding up? I know that Drow's and you have a very tight relationship, and he never much wants to speak to me.
He's doing okay, but again, I also feel like what happened to the other two, Drudgery and Digestion, might happen to him as well.
That is a concern.
He could all.
Especially as that he's always been a tad bit erratic.
Well, I'll try to keep an eye on him, but I think it's best if you stay here with these superheroes and make sure things don't get worse. Make sure I don't have to visit as much as I could if things go wrong.
Oh, I'm trying to keep too much off of your plate. Anyway, I'm sure you have places to be, people dying all the time.
Oh, work, work, work. That's true. I do hate Mondays.
Yes, I think I need to talk to Emerald Drake about some things.
All right, so we're going to say, kind of going to cut ahead back to Society, the Bizarre Basement. Maybe you want to talk to Emerald Drake before we go into the close for this evening, and kind of a somber R.I.P. to Mr. Starr.
I know you don't have much of any reason to trust me, Mr. Drake, but will you accompany me somewhere?
I suppose.
Okay. And I'm going to shadow portal to my sanctuary.
All right, so you take him to this.
Yeah.
Have we described the sanctuary of this game, or?
We've not described this sanctuary.
Yeah. So what does it look like?
It's actually bizarrely high tech.
Ooh.
Like, honestly, beyond the technology that exists at the time in this game. And she removes her hood and her mask. And
Whoa.
she is, last game I accidentally said that she was Japanese American. She's actually Chinese American. I double checked my notes. But a Chinese American woman. So, this is my sanctuary.
It's nice.
Welcome. Thank you. So you can see on the screens, I keep a pretty tight watch of everything that happens in the mortal realm as far as anything anybody's devoted to. It's frankly exhausting, and dividing my time between here and your group has been killing me. Not to mention that I have to be in costume and in character whenever I'm out of his place. I understand that some of the things that I'm doing might seem strange or erratic to you.
It's not the strangest that I've seen, but it's...
I just need to let you know that everything that I do is according to a plan, and it is not my own plan. And I can't reveal a whole lot more to you without causing you permanent brain damage.
I do like my brain intact.
So, right now it's important for people to be as aware as possible of heroes. Something very, very bad is about to happen.
Okay.
We don't know specifically what it is yet, but the more the public is aware of what we're doing, the better we are. That's why I'm giving things to this AJ fellow.
Right. Well, the reason, like, I'm sure you figured this out, but the reason why I destroyed the tape in the first place is because I thought that video would, in his hands, would shine a dark light on heroes. And that is something that I wanted to prevent, since I have lived in a time where heroes were essentially non-existent. And I don't want that to ever happen again.
Well, I understand, but that was something that my predecessor had more to do with than me. I don't believe that heroes should be inside the darkness. My predecessor was a very strict believer in the old ways. I am not. So I'm trying very, very hard to get people to like heroes again.
Right.
But I need people to see heroes in order to do that.
No, I understand that, and it's sort of, like I said, showing heroes fighting each other seems like a sort of a negative aspect of it. Showing what just happened today, while it was a little bit chaotic, it showed that we are here for the people, and we are here to deal with threats above.
Yeah.
Above.
Well, here, I've got a spreadsheet to show you. So you can,
Spreadsheets.
the thing about this current generation is that they don't believe in, I believe their term for it is bullshit. So if they only see good stuff about heroes, they're not going to buy it. So they need to see bad things too. They need like the warts and all experience. They need to feel like they're like in your house with you.
Right.
Like, it's different in it. I know it's going to seem crazy and that it's destructive, but our research shows, and you can back me on this, I think, degradation. Our research shows that the more they see about every detail of your life, the more they're going to believe in you. This is a group of people that swear to goodness, I think that if a total buffoon ran for president and just blurted out random shit that came to his head, they would really respond to it.
Ooh.
Yeah. Well,
So, just saying the warts and all approach, I think, is gonna be very helpful.
All right.
So, I'm just asking you, please don't fight me on it.
Ooh. All right, so Emerald Drake, you think you're going to agree to her strategy of letting real heroes continue to air?
Well, it's going to be a little odd, but I think for the most part it should be interesting. I don't really think my form is really what's needed. Maybe someone who's a little bit more relatable might help.
I don't know. Degradation, the dragon stuff is playing, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's playing.
4 quadrants.
Oh, that's true. Do you know about quadrants? The dragon stuff plays again across all the quadrants. It's the dragon superhero thing is like Terminator 2.
Universal appeal.
Well, all right then.
All right, and with that, I think we're gonna bring this one to a close and start kind of going to our closing moves. How are you guys feeling about heroes, even of the gunning down Mr. Star mode?
I think
As
I'm
we
not
end this.
failing enough because I'm not leveling.
I know, you've been just like 12, 13, 11.
How
Well,
much
It's pretty
potential do
crazy.
you have?
Like I got 4.
Okay, so one more.
Yeah, you'll get there, but yeah, you have been very lucky, I think. I can't really remember. I don't think you failed at all this entire game.
I may have put too many 3s in my
Well, let's start with Nick for this one,
All
the
right.
end of session. Did you grow closer to this team that you're leading? Image of yourself, or get away from the team?
Well, I think with having devotion open up and sort of have this sort of new insight into
Yeah,
what's
explain
going on.
kind of the method to her madness.
Yeah, it's definitely it helps with sort of figuring out why she just disappears all of a sudden. So I would say so. I'm going to give influence to devotion.
To devotion. All right, cool, great idea. How about Flux? Is he growing closer to the team, an image of himself, or growing away from the team?
No, he's definitely fine with the team. Mr. Mystical helped him through some
Yeah, you guys are all saving each other, I
some
think.
power problems today, but
Definitely working well together.
because of that, I think he's now realizing he does have all these cool abilities. He's just, sometimes missing on the use of them, sometimes succeeding well.
Nice.
So he's now believing in himself a lot more.
All right. How about devotion? Is she growing into image of herself, feeling a little closer to this team, or growing away from the team?
Well, the only person that I would say I would grow closer to on the team is Emerald Drake, and I
Yeah,
already
kinda
did that
open
the
up to
last game.
Yeah.
So I don't feel
Closer.
like
Come
can
closer.
you do double influence with somebody? I don't think so.
I think that's okay. You can grow into image of yourself too if you
Maintain.
feel that's a little bit more accurate. Yeah.
Um,
I'm okay with double influence. Give him a +2. He's really good at accompanying, supporting you, and so on.
yeah. If you're cool with the double influence, let's do it.
Yeah, why not? A +2.
Like he's the only person I've bothered to reach out
I
to.
know. Well, that might change. What about Mr. Mystical?
I would
And I
say,
get to mark potential, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
well, yeah, he's grown into an image of himself because now he realizes why Spider put him here. To act like the internal affairs of the Hero Association.
Ooh, I see. To kind of deal with the problems that
Weed out
problems
the
with
problem
heroes.
child.
Oh.
Exactly, like our good friend Extinction. Yeah,
Because that's why you left skateboard to die.
for sure. Yeah, kind of a brutal decision, but it does make sense. And with that, we're going to bring this episode to a close. We will continue the story in 1 week's time because next week, Generation Villain.
Ooh.
It's going to be a villain one-shot entitled Task Force Tombstone. And it's going to be, what is this, some kind of Suicide Squad? Because these three, I think Kat's taking that one off, but she'll be back a week after that. And we'll shoot up some new players as well, and they are all going to be villains who are forced to be heroes. Yeah, and we'll see how well that works out
That
next
always
week.
ends up well. Yeah. Well, awesome. So, yeah, when we revisit this, if you want to check out more Dank Nug Clouds and
Yeah.
more Sharding Scotsmen, just hang out for a couple weeks. We'll be back
All your
with
favorites.
this storyline. So we'll see what happens next week.
It's a
So,
way of life.
hey, everybody's got to fill a role somewhere, right? We got to do what we got to do. All right, so join us next week. We'll be right back here with some Generation Villain. But thank you so much for people that are checking it out on VOD and just hanging out with us. This was amazing. I laughed a lot. All right, so pull up a chair. Make time to tabletop.
Tabletop.
Do it.
We'll see you next week.
Night.
Good night.